Hi, I'm Shari with Organizational Learning and Talent Development, and I've got people with me. Not just people, awesome people, some of whom include our county manager and chief of staff, and they actually gathered us here today because there's a lot to be learned from how we as a county have been responding and keep responding to the coronavirus pandemic. And it's important to capture those lessons. Talking about that, could you tell us more about what you've seen when you've seen folks responding?
You know, Sherry, and thank you for pulling this group together, and thank you all for being here and for everything that you've done, I mean, so far. We've gone into a healthcare crisis that is totally unprecedented, and there's no script, there's no manual, there's no series of instructions, this is what we need to do. And to compound, the healthcare crisis then has created a significant economic crisis. I started seeing some things from our workforce that totally surprised me. And as we've gone forward, now it's been 2 months. Yeah. I think there are some teachable moments for the workforce, for the leaders in our organization. In fact, it's a story that needs to be told as to how we've responded and what we have done. I think our first conversation is an area of creativity where I've got to tip my hat to Carrie Trattina and some others for standing up a program that really helped restaurants that were struggling.
So it was a Sunday evening, and the manager and I were talking about a local business owner in Sandston reached out to the manager earlier that week and said, hey, I'm available. I am here. I need to create some business. What can I do to help you all? And that Sunday night conversation led to a whole team being formed within less than an hour of the business day starting on Monday. And really, that's where I think the first story comes into is collaboration and being creative with a group. So really breaking down that immediate silos of bureaucracy and saying, this is something that we need to do for the business community, but it is also something that we need to do for our frontline employees. Tuesday night, we ended up standing up the website for businesses to start expressing their interest in participating in the program. And I think this is another teachable moment. So within 15 minutes of us putting up that website and no social media, I think the manager had maybe mentioned a sentence about it at a board meeting, right? And we had the Sandston business owner apply, he was the first one. And then I had 15 applications before I went to bed, which was already exceeded expectations in the first day. And then by the time we woke up, the 2 or 3 people, Felicia and Holly, who are really the program managers for this, we all had gotten 50 applications, which is the amount of restaurants we thought who were going to be participating in total.
And you ended up with how many?
We have over 250 submissions and then around 108 active businesses in it. And you know, I kind of woke up there for a moment and said, wow, we did it. And fast forward almost 2 months later, this has been replicated in the city, and we have quite literally kept numerous businesses open.
That's really powerful. And what I'm hearing is not just the team coming together, which doesn't surprise me here at the county, also moving so quickly. And so one of the people on the team that you just referenced is Jeff over in purchasing. So tell us about your part in this out there with the businesses.
So I wasn't as fortunate as Carrie to be able to talk to the county manager on Sunday. I got brought in on Wednesday, and
I'll call you this Sunday.
I got brought in on Wednesday, and asked for my insight on the vendor community and how folks would relate to it and how we could get the word out as quickly as possible, and we did just that. I even had a business owner who said, I want to be a part of this. I'm going to move my business to Henrico so that I can be a part. I mean, that's how much they wanted to be a part of it. So fast forward, we're talking Wednesday, Thursday. I think we met with Carrie on Thursday, and she's like, this is great. The county manager wants to talk about it in the Board of Supervisors meeting Tuesday. We're like, what? But just a great return for our vendors and their excitement around being a part of something that was offering them the opportunity to be sustained in. And this was very early on. We didn't know what the crisis was going to look like, but being a part of it. So it was great.
And talk about impact. I mean, think about how many businesses and therefore how many lives would have been negatively affected by not being able to continue if there wasn't this program there. And Carrie mentioned all the folks on the front line, you know, like folks at the landfill, like Rick and your colleagues. What did it mean to know that there was going to be a meal for you and your employees who were going through this time?
I'm proud to be a part of this, to talk to different people that are struggling. But the struggle, see, that's why I often say you should respect the struggle, whatever it may be. All of us have giants, but all giants are made to be conquered. This thing has affected everybody that I know, and whether you're working or not, it affects you. Dealing with going to the different restaurants. One lady in particular, she's an owner, and I guess she's an owner. She was, I could tell she was stressed when I walked in. And I said, I'm from Henrico County. I said, my name is Rick, and she was like, how you doing? So I said, how's your day? I don't, I said, your day is fine. I said, the best part of my day is waking up. And we both woke up. Right then, she was like, I said, take a selfie with me. Oh, my hair is, I said, you're beautiful. Take this selfie. So she did. And she said, she helped me to take the stuff out. And she said, you really brightened my day. If I may say some of the businesses or, Home Team Grill, Mission Barbecue, got a bunch of them. I just went in there one day and just yelled at the whole staff, hey! They was like, ooh, oh, okay. They really responded, and went to was a place called Virginia Barbecue.
On Lakeside.
Yeah, and went in there, and she was like, nah. I said, come on here and take this selfie. You'll be fine. Everybody's got a struggle.
If I could follow that up, actually. So, a lot of times the manager and I, when we're discussing a program or a service, we talk about unanticipated consequences. And one of the really incredible aspects that have come out of the Nourish Henrico program were the unanticipated benefits. And your relationship with the restaurants, that's a shared sentiment that we've received from police officers. So what is this program going to do for the community moving forward, right? So even when we're not able to purchase meals from these businesses, we've developed relationships, and that's our sole foundation as public servants, is to serve the community. So
it's from the heart.
Right.
And when you go into a place and you speak to a person, I speak to you loud and get your attention. I often believe in get involved with your community and they'll stay involved with you.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, whatever you send out there, it's going to come back.
When you think about this moment in time, what is it that you want employees to remember and to keep doing moving forward that you've seen folks doing at this point?
Well, and Sherry, it's a great question. And that's really the reason that we're all here to pass on, some of these lessons learned. Or sometimes we feel like we can't. And the reality is, I think this healthcare crisis needs to show us what is possible. When we push the boundaries, when we do some of the things that we're doing, that nimbleness, if you will, as an organization, as employees. I mean, Jeff, what you did with vendors, absolutely, you got folks interested immediately. And, Rick, what you were doing in the community, spreading that goodwill, you didn't have to do that, right? But you did. What you expressed, both of you, and what you did, started that Sunday night, literally was something that came from the heart. So this is where public service, what's possible with public service. And the reality is what I have seen collectively from this group, it's absolutely incredible. You know, you all did this. You all did it. As of this week, we've spent $170,000 on this program. But last year, these businesses provided $30 million to this county. So the math for me, as a math guy, is pretty simple. And I got to tell you, what you all did, it's one of those takeaways that I'd love for all of our employees to be able to see and say, you know what, I can do this in my area.